Hello and welcome to Dateline Lagos on Channels Television. I'm Ayotunde Balogun. Coming up on the program, Governor Sanwo Olu inspects two multi-agency buildings, meets Lagos business leaders, attends 8th EU-Nigeria Business Forum, and 2022 Lagos Tree Planting Day. Let's get started with infrastructure development. The Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu took time to inspect two multi-agency buildings, the Lagos Revenue House and the State Multi-Agency Building within Alausa in Ikeja. Governor Sanwo-Olu says the Revenue House will be fully open for use by August this year.
Governor Sanwo Olu arrives at the Old Elephant House, Ikeja, now known as Lagos Revenue House. He's here to inspect the infrastructure being remodeled by the state government.
This is the legal department, that is the library.
After going around the facility, the governor announces that the building will house state agencies, with the Lagos Internal Revenue Service occupying 60% of the structure.
It's a bit longer than I had anticipated personally, but what I've been made to understand is sometimes it's better to build something from scratch first than trying to, renovate a very, very difficult building like this. As you can see, it's a very hard concrete building, on almost like 8 or 9 floors. And it was an old elephant house. And so concrete is everywhere. So it's very, very difficult, for you to retrofit and to make it fit for purpose. So that's why, engineering-wise, they've had to explain. They had to do a lot more detail, because it was like taking down the entire electrical, plumbing, all of the infrastructure that were there before. So the importance of this place is, like we call it, a revenue house. So it houses a significant amount of our core revenue agencies. LIRS being the major occupier here. They're occupying about almost 60%, 55 to 60% of the space here. And LIRS is big, with thousands of staff. So MVA as well, LASA, and a few other revenue agencies from Ministry of Finance. So the whole idea is that they can share some facilities together, but more importantly, our citizens and our customers can come in as a one-stop, right? And they can do a lot of things in the building, from your tax payments to your license renewal to issues around your vehicle, and also land administration, tenement rates, and land assessment, everything. They are all will be all in this building, and a few other smaller institutions like Ibile Holding, Ibile Microfinance, and everything that has to do with generation of revenue.
The project is expected to be delivered next month.
I'm interested to see how well they can finish this job and they can bring them all in. And as you can see, a significant amount of furniture are inside there already. It's just cleaning, just the final little details and just external, painting that is required. So from what I've been told, they have the end of this month, but the contractor says the end of next month. So this month, next month is not so far off. We'll wait patiently and we'll hope that by the end of next month, our staff should begin to come in here in their thousands so that they can serve the people and the citizens of Lagos State in an ambience and an environment that is fit for purpose, and which both the customer and the staff feel, the need for them to render adequate and proper service. So it's heavy renovation, right? I cannot put the amount to my head, and I think they asked the contractor about a year and a half ago, but like I said, renovation work, sometimes you have a lot of unexpected things that you meet. You need to put down the main original design of the building and see how you can now work it around. And it became difficult at some point, so they just need to tear everything down and start, reconstruction, especially in electrical, in plumbing, So this is a perfect, energy-saving building. So they deliberately are using low energy consumption building. All of the ACs are on the roof, some will be on the ground floor. So there's a lot of new modern technology. You can see also, on each desk has both, voice, has data, everybody has access, and they've all been trunk. So as you sit, you have access to so many things. So it's really like a modern building, that we needed to do very well and properly.
He also makes a stop at the 9th-floor multi-agency building being developed close to the State Government Secretariat, Alausa, Ikeja, to see the level of work achieved so far. Contractors handling the projects have been asked to meet up with the deadlines set for both buildings.
Lagos State will be on another 30-year journey in the pursuit of physical development, social growth, and, of course, economic prosperity. Now, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu broke this news to business leaders and the organized private sector at an interactive meeting held at Victoria Island, Lagos. Take a look.
Commerce House, Victoria Island, is the meeting point for business leaders, the organized private sector, members of the diplomatic community, to discuss with the Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu on how to improve the economy of the state.
Especially thanks to our governor.
The meeting, which was organized by the Lagos State Chamber of Commerce and Industry, also had in attendance the president of the LCCI, Michael Olawale Cole, who says Lagos accounts for 71% of the $1.573 billion foreign investment Nigeria recorded in the first quarter of 2022.
Lagos State has continued to be the investment haven for foreign investments coming to Nigeria. Most recent data from the National Bureau of Statistics show that Lagos State alone attracted $1.11 billion US dollars, which is 71% out of the $1.575 billion US dollars in the first quarter of 2022. You can see how important Lagos is. Over 70% coming to Nigeria is into Lagos, passing through Lagos for Nigeria's benefit. Our concern about the composition of Nigeria's capital importation is that the proportion of foreign direct investment is at only 9.5%, needs special attention and calls for immediate actions towards addressing critical issues affecting our business environment. With an improved business environment, the state can attract capital inflows from Nigerians in diaspora as a more sustainable source of funding for the required infrastructure. The enormity of needs in Lagos State requires the cooperation of both the public and private sector funding and a good mix of foreign direct investment.
The Deputy President of the LCCI, who is also the Group Executive Director at Dangote Group, wants the state government to invest more in the education sector.
What I always say, the most important thing in Nigeria, and of course then also Lagos, is education. Education, education, education. The age, these 20 million people, there's so many young ones. Are they really getting the education that they need? Because education means everything in the future. Our Honorable or Excellency Governor mentioned education as one of the important things in his program. It has to be, for me, seen as number one. Because these young ones coming up, they need education. And maybe the higher education, less children. It follows. Because you don't really need millions and millions of children, but you need educated ones that is going to move the city and the country forward.
Governor Sanwo-Olu used the occasion to speak on the state's 30-year growth vision and reeled out interventions initiated by the state government in the areas of infrastructure, transportation, education, health and technology to improve ease of doing business in the state.
In the last 6 months, we've actually been working on a Lagos State Development Plan 2050. It's a 30-year plan that we've had extensive onshore and offshore consultants working with us on. And I'm glad you'll be the first sitting that I'm telling this. I'm glad to say that we'll be unveiling that development plan at this year's Mbeti Summit. It's actually going to be the main thrust for our Mbeti Summit in September, October this year. So they're working on it. So that's when we're going to place that entire development plan, and we're going to tear it, all apart and see what part of it, interests everyone. But there are 4 main thrusts that are there. Number 1 is that we want to develop a thriving economy to make Lagos a robust, healthy, growing economy with adequate jobs and strategic investment to sustain growth. This is one of the strongest thematic things that we gave them that we're bringing back. So a thriving economy. We believe it's important for us to have a sustainable growth path for the next 30 years. The second point is a human-centric city. We believe with the 20-something million population or so, every Lagosian will have access to affordable world-class education, healthcare, and social service. That's the audaciousness of the plan we want to put on the table, which is where we believe by that 2052, Lagos should be the world's job-centric city of the world, where people can say that you're looking for 1,000 program writers, go to Lagos. You're looking for 500, skills in entertainment, go to Lagos. You're looking for designers in this area, go to Lagos. That's the kind of human-centric nature that I want to develop, the city into for the next 30 years.
The administration of Governor Babajide Sanwo Olu is once again assuring the private sector of creating a good environment for businesses to thrive.
Well, Governor Babajide Sanwo Olu has again emphasized that his administration will be relentless in pursuing initiatives that will improve the ease of doing business in Lagos State. He made this comment at the 8th EU-Nigeria Business Forum at the Eco Hotel and Suites, also in Victoria Island, Lagos.
Increase the power supply to about 40 million Nigerians.
The 8th European Union Business Forum offers an opportunity for Nigeria and EU to engage policymakers and strengthening multilateral relationships that will provide economic growth for the people, and is hosted in Lagos State.
The mutual benefits between Nigeria and
the federal, state government and other stakeholders from the EU and Nigeria are present at Eco Hotel and Suites, Victoria Island, to deliberate on how to diversify the Nigerian economy even in this challenging period. Ambassador of the European Union to Nigeria, Samuel Sopi, says the EU remains Nigeria's biggest trading partner, pegging the trade volume at 28.7 billion euros with a significant trade balance of over 6 billion in favor of Nigeria as of 2021.
This forum brings together honorable members of the government, their senior officials, and the private sector, and aims to provide a platform for dialogue and mutual engagement on issues of common interest. After the opening session, there will be 2 panel discussions. We will look at government policies to stimulate the private sector and encourage local production, and then tackle an issue of particular interest, the gas sector, and the prospects for increased exports to Europe. The ongoing conflict in Europe has brought to the fore the issue of Europe's energy security and the need in the short and medium term to diversify sources of gas imports for the European Union and its member states. This could provide a win-win opportunity for Nigeria and the European Union.
Minister of State for Finance, Budget and National Planning, Clem Agba, informed the audience that the federal government is currently developing a perspective plan called Nigeria Agenda 2050 that will sustain the country and also welcome support from investors.
This 8th edition of the EU-Nigerian Business Forum, titled Nigeria and the New Economy, with focus on development of the gas sector and the opportunities for increased gas exports to Europe, development of agriculture and others, is apt. These are important sectors of the Nigerian economy as they align with government policies and efforts in economic diversification. Before now, Nigerian economy was mono-dependent, solely dependent on oil. At the height of oil, it accounted for 90% of revenue, 95% of foreign exchange, and 48% contribution to GDP. However, in the last 5 years, the current administration has changed the above scenario, with non-oil revenue now accounting for about 70% of revenue against 30% from the oil sector. The contribution of oil to GDP has fallen to about 7.8%. For a while now, due to the Russian-Ukraine war, oil is contributing almost zero to revenue due to under-recovery of premium motor spirit, generally called the oil subsidy, and our inability to meet up with the OPEC quota as a result of the shorting of oil wells due to oil theft. Having successfully diversified the economy, the National Development Plan 2021 to 2025 focuses on concentric diversification of the economy. By this, I mean the various sectors of the economy need further diversification. And one of the things that we have noticed is that we have issues with our product space and product complexity. The product space issue has to do with the collective knowledge that is required in each of the sectors. The oil sector that we depended on before now itself is not diversified. So when you look at the other sectors that are now making brilliant contributions to the economy, there is the need for further diversification within those sectors.
And the state governor, Babajide Sanwo Olu, assures the EU government of pursuing initiatives that will improve the ease of doing business in Lagos and also provide an economic springboard that will lead Nigeria to a place of social and economic prosperity.
On our part as Lagos, we'll continue to view ourselves as a strategic national asset, carrying the responsibility of not just being an epicenter for bad news and for things that are not good, but also epicenter for good things. You know, we carried the burden over 50% during COVID. You know, we've had to also carry, you know, the issues around huge influx, you know, and the migration from all of the very unstable parts of the country. You know, rural-urban drift, it's always felt in Lagos. You know, but with all of those challenges comes also with a Lagos opportunity. You know, it has a market, it has a youth population that is also willing and able to take advantage of. And so in light of this, Lagos State is committing, you know, we've had a very, very big, elaborate idea, which we call our 30-year 2052 development agenda. Later this year, we'll be launching this 30-year development plan, right? It's taking cognizance of the national agenda 2021 to 2025, but Lagos indeed want to be a lot more audacious. So we've, in the last 8 months, been studying a 30-year development plan that will be launching extensively later in the year during our Engbeti Summit. It's going to be a document that's going to be alive. We're going to stretch it. We're going to allow a lot of input into it over the 2-3 day of our Engbeti Summit. But just to give you a peep into it, because it's a document that we're truly, truly excited about. One of the primary focuses, one, we're looking at increasing formal retail trade to over 60% of total trade as per our peers with other African nations, and to establish the largest West African wholesale hub. That's in Lagos.
Recommendations reached at the forum is expected to address issues constituting barriers to the inflow of investment and deepening trade relations between Nigeria and Europe.
And finally on the program, the Lagos State government has asked residents to build and sustain their relationship with nature by planting trees. Now, this is according to the Deputy Governor of Lagos State, Quadri Hamzat, who was represented by the Permanent Secretary, Office of the Deputy Governor, Mobolaji Daba, at the symbolic planting of trees to mark this year's Lagos Tree Planting Day.
Trees are vital parts of the environment. It purifies the air we breathe, produces oxygen, and also serves as shelter for people. Since 2008, the Lagos State government has sustained the culture of tree planting yearly. Till date, over 7 million trees have been planted across Lagos. These trees have not only beautified the environment, but also serve as a way to mitigate the effects of climate change. And the same action is repeated this year at Dr. Abayomi Fini Recreational Park, Oregon.
Don't worry, it will grow. Amen. And it will flourish. Amen. It is estimated that we are using renewable resources equivalent to what will be produced by 1.6 Earths to maintain our current way of life, and that ecosystem degradation is affecting 40% of the world's population. Indeed, tree planting is now regarded as a lifelong investment that has a surprising potential to positively impact all 17 Sustainable Development Goals. Dear Lagosians, the environmental crisis did not begin globally. It began locally. One of the most important aspects of re-articulating human development is to be fair to nature and to other living beings. We cannot be developed unless our lives become reconnected and in balance, cooperation and harmony with nature. It is worthy of note that climate action is now mainstream in our sectorial policies and plans. With the Lagos State Climate Action Plan 2020 to 2025, our administration is serious about incorporating climate-friendly initiatives into everything we do as a government.
The theme for this year's celebration, In Harmony with Nature, is influenced by the need for us to collectively take steps to build a sustainable relationship with nature. How do we establish a relationship with our environment? One of the simplest ways to plant and nurture as many trees as possible, which is why the Lagos State Tree Planting Day will remain significant in the history of our dear state, as it offers us the opportunity to reach out to Lagosians and encourage them to plant trees. We have a target to plant 5,000 trees in the month of July. LastPac will continue to enlighten the public about the significance of trees as our immense contributor to human life. Apart from providing shade, trees give us oxygen, store carbon, stabilize the soil, and give life to the world's wildlife.
Partners supporting the state government in planting trees are willing to do more.
The quality of our environment and coexisting in harmony with nature depends greatly on our trees and forest cover. Therefore, Azila is proud to support the environmental sustainability initiatives of the Lagos State government. Since 2017, we have been opportune to donate over 14,000 seedlings as part of LastPac annual tree planting campaign, which can potentially absorb over 300 tons of CO2 per year. We appreciate our holistic collaboration with LastPac in tree planting campaigns and other greening initiatives for a better Lagos State. And we are hopeful that this event will mark a conscious reawakening of Lagosians towards the need to plant trees and preserve our environs, both for ourselves and for our future generations.
The General Manager of Lagos State Parks and Gardens Agency says 5,000 trees will be planted in the month of July across all local government areas of the state.
Tree Planting Day has been institutionalized in law, so it's absolutely essential that we do this every year. But it's not just about the Tree Planting Day. It's just an opportunity. This is just more of a campaign. This is an opportunity for us to tell the public about the importance of planting trees and to encourage them to also plant in their homes and offices and their spaces. And a lot of the things that we're seeing in the environment, natural disasters, flooding, can be averted by one of the simplest ways is to plant trees. And it's easy, it's very easy for individuals to partake, children, adults, young adults, and everybody to actually partake in it. You know, these are the little drops in the ocean that make the mighty ocean. One of the things we're doing this year is an art competition for children between the ages of 3 and 16. We know that it's very important for us to teach the children when they're young about environmental and ecosystem sustainability. Because if you don't understand what it is, you're going to grow up not understanding why a tree is important. So we're going, young. We're asking them to draw, paint, collage, or do any form of visual art to explain their understanding of in harmony with nature, which is the theme for this year.
Residents of Lagos are advised to cultivate the habit of planting trees to increase green spaces and create opportunities for future resilience.
Well, that's the program for this week. As always, thank you so much for watching. I'm Ayo Tunde Balogun. Until next time, please remember to always stay safe. Bye for now.